Hey everybody, Heather from Hooked on Pickin. We are back from vacation. I know you missed us last week, but we wanted to say a big thank you to all of our patrons who always consistently support us, and then of course to all of our viewers like you guys that are on all the time. So hopefully you enjoyed our vacation video that I put out yesterday to give you a glimpse into some of the fun that we had. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, go back to my channel and check its Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge vacation. And pretty much the entire vacation was paid for by my online reselling business. And so if that's something you're interested in doing, a vacation like that, then check out online reselling. And speaking of online reselling, we do have lots of Q&A that's going to be talking today. We're going to have questions and answers from you guys. So if you do have a shout out, go ahead and say hello. If you do have a question, go ahead and say hello as well. And we'll make sure that we get that answered for you. Paul will be joining me in just a minute. He's just making sure that our camera is set up correctly and we're all centered up. I think I ended up with the tripod in the way this time, but so he adjusted it so that will get out of your view there. But we've got some really fun things. Just as a reminder, I know that we had a delay with shipping on the fire sale the previous week, and so if you have not yet paid for your fire sale items, please do so now. I have a stack of about 11 people who have not yet paid. And so don't get on my naughty list, all right? If you
stay off the list.
If you don't pay for a number of times, you will no longer be allowed to bid on the fire sale. So do not get on my naughty list. Also, if you did not watch the vacation video yesterday, I got to actually meet one of you guys. Margaret Hall happened to actually be in Dollywood.
That was cool.
Yeah, the exact same day. And so we coordinated via text and was able to meet up and chat with each other. And I got to meet her kids. She got to meet our kids.
Yep,
it was really fun. Yep, got to meet her husband.
Good family.
James, which was easy to remember his name. Yeah,
James?
His name was James.
I couldn't remember what the name was.
So that was really fun. So anytime that you guys are in our area, we would love to meet you. So feel free to shoot me an email or something like that. Yep. We would love to be able to get
our
to
church
know
stores are always open too.
Yes. Yes.
Come on down to Whiskey Baptist.
All right, so a big thank you to everyone who was here. Hopefully you enjoyed the extra pallet unboxing that we offered you guys last week. We'll be doing a Honcho Wholesale unboxing this Saturday and Sunday, so we haven't done one from them for a while, so hopefully you're really excited. I've got a really big box from Honcho Wholesale and a really small box.
Yes.
So I think we're going to do the little box because I feel like that's worth more money.
Sometimes.
Okay, so we've got some people online already?
Yes. Well, I tell you what, I'll introduce the topic real quick.
Okay.
It's the one that we get the absolute most, and Heather fields it probably 1 out of every 3 phone conversations, consultation, is reselling a get-rich-quick scheme. A lot of people watch the videos of the unboxings and they go, oh, that's super simple. I could make, thousands of dollars, or become a millionaire overnight. And they don't think about all the hard work that goes into it. So we just were talking about that the last couple of days going, maybe we need to do another video. I think we've done videos like this before, but then this opens it up for people to ask questions too. So I think that'll be good. So we'll be looking at that as reselling a get-rich-quick scheme. The answer is no. Okay, Aline Robinson says, hi, Heather and Paul from Aline.
Hello.
Let's see. Ashley says, loved your trip video.
Awesome.
Aline says, I love seeing that trip video also. Sunshine Badges and More says, you're back. I hope you had fun. Tammy says, hello, Hooks family. Word Vendor 1 says, hi, y'all. Deborah says, great vacation video, guys. Loved it. Mike Thomas says, good morning, Mike's Discounted Items. How are y'all doing? Matthew says, hello, folks. Pam says, good to see you live again. Michelle says, hey. Janet Hooks, my mother says, Mama says, hi. So,
she was in the vacation video.
Yes, she was. Deborah says, missed you bunches. This, that, and the other 2 says, hi to my favorite Hooks family. Sorry about the late payment.
That's all right. We got you taken care of.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think that one's done, yeah.
Yep.
Midwest Mama's Adventure says, hey, guys, glad to see you back home safe. Michelle says, I purchased from Honcho Wholesale. Use your code. Thank you. Well, good deal.
Yes.
Does that code give you $15?
$15 off of a Honcho Wholesale purchase, and I believe the code is HOOKED, HOOKED. So if you use that code, you get $15 off your purchase.
Yep.
And I don't know that it's limited. I think you might be able. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think you can use it as many times as you want, but I'm not for
I
sure.
hope it's helping somebody out. Nadine says hello. Susan says saw the trailer for your A&E show. Can't wait.
Yes.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Was it August 4th?
Yes.
Tuesday, August 4th on
looking
A&E.
at it. You know how your guide on your TV goes out 2 weeks? So I got on Tuesday, and I'm like, it's 2 weeks till the day. Let's look for it. And it went out till like
12
Monday.
days.
Yeah, like a full day. And
Yeah.
then I got on yesterday thinking, okay, it's Wednesday. Surely it'll be there, right? And it plays 9 o'clock our time, 10 o'clock Eastern time. So you'll have to kind of do the math if you're living on the West Coast. But anyway, so I got on there yesterday thinking, okay, great, now I'll see it. It went all the way up to 7 o'clock. So I haven't been on yet, but I think what I'm going to do is snap a photo and put it on my Facebook
Yeah, the
page.
show's going to be 10 p.m. Eastern time, so it's 9 p.m. Central time.
So I do know, though, the one thing I can tell you about the show is that we are featured on one of the August 4th episodes. So they're going to play 2 back-to-back episodes on August 4th, and I think that's the plan for all of the series. I think every time it plays, it's going to play 2 episodes. But anyway, I know we're featured on one of the ones on August 4th.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So good. Let's see here. Susan. Oh yeah, Susan already did that. Amy K says hi, welcome home. This is interesting. Can I get 1,000 subs for no reason? Hi from my phone. So somebody's trying an experiment.
Yes.
You know, that's a good experiment. I wonder if you could just get 1,000 subscribers for no reason. You know. Let's see. Alan Robinson says I paid my fire sale. I think it's right.
It shipped yesterday. Yep.
Oh, good.
Yep. He picked it up yesterday.
Rosemary says hello. Thank you for the shirt. So if you didn't know, we give out shirts or different little...
If you spend the most money on each fire sale, you'll get a little hooked on Pickin treat.
There you go.
It's not an edible treat.
No.
But it's usually something that's functional. So sometimes
mugs, cups, shirts,
cups, pens,
something.
Yeah, I do have some really cool hooked on Pickin
swag.
Pens. Swag.
Hooked on Pickin swag.
Hooked on Pickin swag. So I do have some cool pens with styluses on them.
Yeah, you do. They're actually really nice too.
Yeah, he steals them all.
I steal them all. Let's see. Rose, okay, Nadine says, my husband and I are enjoying your videos.
Awesome.
Well, great, Nadine. Michelle says that she bought something from Honcho Wholesale, paid $170, retail was $1,900, got some great items. Good.
Oh, yeah. I have never, ever had a terrible item from Honcho Wholesale.
No.
I think, like...
No garbage. We've not gotten
it's
garbage.
Always really nice stuff. I always make money on Honcho Wholesale. Sometimes the margins are a little tighter just because you spend a little bit more. But then there are some that I just hit it out of the park. Like, I get an item and, oh, my goodness, I'm going to make $50 on this item. So, you know, but it's always a little bit of a risk, which we'll be talking about today. Mm-hmm. Is reselling a get-rich-quick scheme? That's right.
This, that, and the other two says, I paid for the A&E app just to watch you and Steve and Steph.
Awesome. Steve and Steph are great.
They're great.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
We've watched them for a long time too, so
they're
kind of a geeked out fan.
And then there's another YouTuber, so if you haven't checked him out, they're called The Family Flips.
Is it The Family Flips?
I think so.
You're saying that right, aren't
I think that's them.
They seem to be a fun family.
They're
too.
a really fun family.
Yep.
Like, I love the lady. She's so fun.
Really, honestly.
And they have young children.
I think everybody in the A&E TV show, Extreme Unboxing, Tuesdays at 10. Anyway, I think they all would tell you this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Yeah. You know, it just isn't. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it.
And you'll see that.
Yeah.
You'll see that.
You don't always make money on a pallet, too, which can get very frustrating.
And if you've watched my channel long enough, you know that's the case.
Correct. DECOR and Moore says, hi. Matthew says, 25 years of recovering from cancer. Way to go.
Awesome.
Want to use my medical leave to focus on my financial freedom. What would you say to a young, brand new picker looking to flip pallets? Okay, so... I think you're going to list a lot of things here. So listen up here.
So listen up. This will be a good one. I also this is not a shameless plug, but it's a plug in general. Sure. I do consultation calls. So if you have any questions for $35, you can talk to me for 30 minutes, and you pretty much lead the conversation. So you just come to the phone, pepper me with questions, and you will definitely get all your questions answered. So anybody who's done a consult with me usually walks away with lots more information than they expected. You know me, I talk fast. Got my coffee today. Oh, and thank you for always donating for the ice cream for the kids.
Oh, I know.
We do always take them for ice cream. And now, whenever we get lots of donations, Paul even picks me up lunch. So we've been eating ice cream and lunch.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to pick up lunch regardless. But
he wants to eat. So
it is very kind of you guys to do that. It encourages the kids.
It does encourage the kids. And the money does go to the kids. The kids get paid for doing that fire sale stuff. And James is saving for a car. So he's really excited. He'll be driving in December.
I know. That's cool.
He's a pretty good driver, though.
Yeah, he drove me home last night.
Very responsible. Yep. Anyway.
Let's see. Word Vendor 1 says, I'm using my swag right now, the Hooked on Pickin mug. Good deal.
Awesome.
This and the other two says, I'll have to check them out. Thanks. Sophia says, welcome back. The Bears, thumbs up. The bear was great to see. Looking forward to the fire sale. That was super cool.
Yeah.
You probably can't tell in the video. We were awful close to it.
We were about 20 yards away, maybe.
They have signs saying you're not supposed to be 50 yards away, but the bears don't read the signs, so they just wander right onto your path. And you're like, oh, there it is.
I tell you what, Faith was the bear spotter, though.
Yes, she
saw
was.
It both times.
Our youngest daughter could spot them fast. Ron says, you mentioned before that you had a couple of bad pallets where you broke even or worse. Can this happen even if you go over the manifest pretty well?
Yes. One of the pallets that we had mismarked an item. And so we ended up with, it was the same brand, but we ended up with a smaller item as opposed to the larger item, which would have been worth more. So, so that was a little bit frustrating. And then the other one, remember the hat box we got?
That was pretty bad.
And so we got a case from Bulk with a bunch of hats that would have been worth really good money, like really nice kind of straw fedoras, stuff like that. And when we got it, the hats were just crushed beyond belief. So we were able to sell all the Bulk hats out of there, but a lot of the fedoras that we were hoping to make some money on Poshmark and stuff, we were not able to sell real well at all just because of the condition.
And Ron, to help you out with that, liquidators across the board, I haven't met one that doesn't do it this way, but they itemize, and you get to see on the manifest, hey, you know, this, I'm trying to think how to say it, this item is $2.47 in the box. Well, of course, that's averaged out to everything, okay? So when you saw those golf clubs or those hats or whatever, you're like, ooh, this is you know, this is a $80 item, you know, or a $20 item. This would be great. You get it, it's been mismarked or it's been crushed or damaged. The manifest didn't tell you that. And so when you call that liquidator and say, hey, look, this item isn't even in the box or it's been mislabeled or whatever, they'll give you not the $80, not the $20, they'll give you the $2.47.
Because they just average out everything in the box.
Right. To them, that's all the item is worth, okay? And of course, you bought that box
for that item to make money.
For that $80 item, that $20 item. So you have to kind of keep that in mind, and that's a little trick to go. You don't just look for the big ticket item and that's it. And we break that rule from time to time because we get like, ooh, if it is there. And sometimes you can if you've built a good relationship with that liquidator. Anyway, hopefully that helps, Ron. Ask another question if it didn't. Dog Pound says, I really loved your vids and thanks for sharing your vacation with us. Gina says, good morning, everyone. Matthew says, listening. Michelle says, takes a lot of work, research, etc. Definitely not get rich quick scheme. Nadine says, my husband, he likes to sell on Amazon, but he doesn't, or I don't know, I think he got auto-corrected there. Charles says, hi, Heather and Paul. Rick says, when you were in Cades Cove, did you go in the old church with the graveyard right next to it? Yes, we did.
If you saw the video, the girls are playing the piano from that church.
That's the Methodist church. I think the Baptist church had it. Well, I don't know if they all have one. They might all have a graveyard. No, the Baptist church has one.
The Methodist church had the piano in it that was terribly out of tune. Like, the girls were cringing while they were playing that song. So if you haven't gotten a chance to watch our vacation video, go ahead and check it out.
It is neat. It is neat.
Yeah, and Paul got to see a bear. Yay!
Several bears. I was happy.
Several bears. He actually saw the most bears of everybody.
I did. One morning, my dad and I went to go do a little shopping, and I think he wanted to get some tools or something like that. And then we were just driving along, and all of a sudden, boom, there it was. Not too far from our cabin.
And it was a mama bear with a
mama
baby bear.
and a little baby bear.
Yeah, I didn't put that video in.
Trying to climb a tree.
I'll have to throw that maybe on my Facebook page.
Yep, or your patron page.
Patron page. I'm wearing the ring I got. See? My army ring.
She got her army ring. Let's see. Somebody's mom says, what are your thoughts on Mercari? I just started posting items there and am really nervous about the shipping.
Okay, so Mercari has kind of like, it's a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to the shipping. I always offer free shipping, but then I go and get the prepaid label because you can then choose which way you want to ship it. So it automatically, like if it's a heavier item, always wants me to FedEx it, but I don't have FedEx pickup here at my house, and I have UPS close to me. Either a UPS drop-off is close or a pickup is something that I do for the fire sales. And so I always choose the UPS or the United States Postal Service if it's a lighter weight item. And so what I recommend is go free shipping, and then do the prepaid label, because then it'll automatically calculate those fees out. And before you even click list the item. Hey guys. There we go. We're back.
We are back.
All right. Sorry about that. So we were talking about Mercari shipping, and I usually always do free shipping, and then I do the prepaid label. Hopefully you got to hear some of the other of what I said, but the reason why I always do the prepaid label is they also insure, I think, up to $100 if it gets lost.
That actually helped us once.
Yeah, it helped us once. So Mercari will pay for it if it gets damaged or lost in shipping. So that's always a good way. Plus, then it's easily tracked.
Margaret Hall says, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Margaret.
It was great to meet you and your hubby and your kids.
That's right. Okay, so we are talking about, is reselling a get-rich-quick scheme? It's one of the questions that Heather gets the most and the ones that people ask all the time. Can you really make money doing this? And some people think we're millionaires. We are not. Nope. We are far from that.
We're just very smart with our money.
Even though we'll be on a TV show, trust me, we're not millionaires even after that. So
there are some days I think it costs us more to shut down.
Yeah.
Do the filming.
Yes. I think it did a couple of days.
For us to actually do our reselling.
It was a really cool experience. So we're looking forward to see it on TV. But anyway.
Tuesdays, 10 p.m.
Tuesdays, Extreme Unboxings, Tuesdays at 10. Okay. Let's see. We've got several things that are just, I don't know if they're in necessarily any order.
Nope.
But they're really good tidbits to have you think through. So we were just kind of kicking it around. So here's the question, is reselling a get-rich-quick scheme? Go, Heather.
A lot of people think when they watch us, they see the unboxing, and then they see the listing, and hey, I'm going to make $1,000 from this, or hey, I'm going to make $900, or I'm going to make $500, and they just see the big dollar signs. But the problem is you have to make sure you buy the item smart. They didn't realize that Paul invested lots of time scouring the various liquidators to find that one box out of probably the 50 he looked at.
Right.
And it's getting increasingly more difficult to find things. So basically having a relationship built with any local liquidators in your area or liquidators that don't cater to the everyday person is helpful. Like we've got some that you can only buy from if you have a reseller certificate. And so that kind of weeds out the everyday person. I feel like some of the liquidators are already raising their prices because, it's getting to fourth quarter.
The only liquidator that I've seen lately that's raised their prices is bulk.com.
But that's on track for what they've been doing the last 3 years.
Yeah. But it is a little bit puzzling. Things I was buying for $100 cheaper. For some reason, they're jacking the prices a little bit. So it is true. Fourth quarter, people buy anything and everything, and we're getting close to that. That might be a trend that they've done the last few years. Anyway, but I utilize when I buy the little tips for you. Use the watch list if that liquidator has a watch list. If they don't have a watch list, write it down on a pencil with a pencil and paper that you're going to check this pallet out again. Because what almost every liquidator across the board will discount.
Well, and you've already done a lot of the research on that particular pallet. And so you don't want to have that time wasted. So if you've got this health and beauty pallet, lot number, blah, 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 write it down and then know, okay, if it gets down to $400, I'll buy it because then I know it's worth it. But right now it's set at $600, so it's not worth it, And so do things like that. Keep yourself a little notepad or a kind of a, I use my phone. There's a list app on my phone that I use a lot. So, and then the watch list, of course, is the easiest way to do it. Remembering how much.
When you're buying use that manifest. That manifest is really a treasure map, if you will, to the treasure. And that will save your bacon. I was looking on a site last night, and I was looking at this pallet, and I'm just like, this almost seems too good to be true. It looks great. You know, it was swimsuits and all kinds of other great stuff in there. And swimsuits they usually go pretty hot around this time. Anyway, even hotter earlier summer. But the price was only like $2.47 an item in there. And I'm thinking, this is fantastic. Well, then I hop on the manifest. I look down the manifest, 62 of the 120 items was one particular item that I know that I can't sell. I mean, they don't move at all. They were a size small body shaper thing that, I don't even think women want to wear. I mean, it's just, so if
you're a size small, you don't need a body shaper.
Probably not. But I looked at that and I was just like, well, that jacks everything up, because those 60 items I really can't sell. So now those bathing suits, they're not $2.47. They're more like, $5, $6, Anyway, so you really got to watch those manifest, and don't make a spur of the moment decision. And that you got to be careful with auction sites for that. You can get caught up. Just one more bid. You have to set a budget and stick to it. So
yeah. So basically, it's big dollar signs, but you must buy smart. Is what people see. The other thing too, when it comes to the get rich quick scheme, is you do actually have to invest your own money. So all the things that you see us unbox, we pay money for, and so I usually try to divulge how much money each box costs, and if you were to buy it, this is how much you would pay, and this is how much you would pay in shipping, and here's our actual profit numbers. So hopefully that's helpful, that I include all of that stuff so that you walk into it with a realistic mindset of, hey, they paid $300 for this box, but they're only going to make $100, and so was it really worth all that time? And I invested more than what I made on some of those boxes, and then there's some that we try. Our goal always is to kind of double our money. So if we pay $400 for a box, we want to make $800 on it. So we want to make our $400 back plus another $400. And then obviously we want to make more than that. But our goal is always to, at the very least, to double our money, but it doesn't always happen. So you got to buy smart. You got to invest money. Do we have questions?
Let's see here. Ron says, do you need a reseller's permit for Honcho Wholesale? I can't remember.
I cannot remember either.
We do have a reseller certificate.
Yes, so I can't remember, because we have so many liquidators you buy from. Just contact them.
Right. Ron, if you're trying to buy from any wholesaler, not a liquidator, but a wholesaler, they almost all require a reseller certificate now.
And it's usually fairly easy. It's state specific.
Yeah, it is.
So each state is different. Ours was free. We just had to fill out some paperwork. And then we do actually, now that we have a reseller's certificate, we have to pay quarterly taxes. But they explain all that. They're probably the nicest IRS people you ever talk to, because once you get a reseller certificate, you have to start paying state taxes on what you sell in your own personal.
You always had to pay state taxes. Yeah. We just always did it at the end of the year. Yeah. And now, when we got the resale certificate, now we have to pay quarterly. Right. And that might just be Illinois. I don't know. Yeah, it's different for every state. So just call them and ask them. It's fairly easy. All right. So, so we've talked about, you got to buy smart. You have to invest your own money. This is the one thing that people forget about. You have to invest time. You see us an hour a day doing our job. Doing the unboxing, yeah. Doing the unboxing and stuff. But you have to invest time. And so it takes time to process all of that. And we don't always show every aspect of what we do. Like, you see the listing videos. Usually before the listing videos, Paul goes through and organizes all the tables so that when we do the videos, it's a much more smoother transition into finding the prices. Although I do think that we have probably some of the rawest footage of a lot of the YouTubers. We don't stage a lot. What you see is what we actually do as far as listing and stuff. Yeah. Set the pallet down. She opens it. Right. You're seeing exactly what we're seeing. We don't really edit anything. That was the cool thing about the TV show too. They wanted us to do it the way we normally do it. They didn't stick anything in a pallet that we didn't buy, or anything like that. Everything you see is authentic. Because I've always wondered, like the storage wars. I'm like, I bet you they stuck something in there, but now I don't know if they ever did. You know,
From our experience, it
was good.
It was exactly what we bought. There were no extra items in there.
It was just so much slower though. That was the thing, because you're like, okay, now hold that up. All right, you know, and we'd scan it with our app, you know, how much it is, and say, okay, now show that to the camera, and oh, we liked how that you said that, but can you say it again, because the audio, a car drove by or something like that. So
our poor audio guy was like stuck in the corner, and he's like, hold on, wait, like if we had a lawnmower going.
Lawnmower, dog barking.
They tried to pay people to not mow their lawns around their house.
Oh, goodness.
Funny. Anyway, it was super fun though. Super fun. They were
so
awesome.
it's still, I liked how the show did it, because it was as close to how we do it.
Yeah.
You know, just boom, you unbox it. Yep. You're either going to make money or not make money.
And we bought every pallet.
Yeah.
We purchased every pallet with our money.
They don't give you pallets or anything like that.
Nope. We bought all the pallets.
Let's see here. Michelle says, what are you doing to prepare for Q4?
We're trying to always keep product in stock, which is actually becoming difficult. But part of the reason it's becoming difficult is because you guys are amazing in buying stuff off the fire sales.
Yeah, the fire sales have been huge.
And it's really nice to be able to, because our prices on the fire sale, we can discount so much because we do all the invoicing through Hooked on Pickin, which is like virtually, it's like 2% fees. Yeah. So that's the nice thing about the fire sale, is that we're able to discount it way lower than what we do. Anything we don't sell on the fire sale goes on to our other platforms, but it's usually upcharged quite a bit from what we had it.
Right, yeah.
Because we have to pay for those fees. So like if we put it on Poshmark, like if we had it at $35 on the fire sale, we're going to put it on Poshmark for maybe $55. So. Then
often what happens is people offer lower, or they bundle, and that.
But you still get it cheaper on the fire sale. Usually.
You'll always get it cheaper on the fire sale.
Anyway.
Also getting ready for Q4. I'm trying to get. We've been selling knives really well on the fire sale. So, but it's getting hard for, you know, our bookkeepers to keep track. You know, if I had 24 knives we sold one time of one particular knife, and it was just kind of slows down the fire sale. So I'm trying to order enough where we put those on Hooked on Pickin, and I think they're nice little stocking stuffers. You know, they're nice little small gifts to give.
So
to
in
people,
about a week and a half, we'll have knives available direct for sale on Hooked on Pickin.
Yep.
Probably they're going to be.
Those should be ready for Q4.
Yeah, those will probably be similar prices to what you see on the fire sale. We've even got some new ones that you found. That was really cool.
Those I'm buying through a wholesaler. The only issue is I have to buy a good chunk,
massive amounts of
knives to get the price low enough to be able to even sell them for the prices on the fire sale. So I was really hoping to go to ASD Market Week and look at other wholesalers. I found another guy online, but he doesn't have the stuff that I was really looking for. Anyway, moving on. Christine says, do you still sell on eBay?
Yes, we sell a few things on eBay. I actually just made a sale while we were on vacation, but I adjusted all my handling time. So
not as much. It's definitely not our primary anymore.
Yep.
Deborah says, I sell a lot of smalls and mediums, I think on eBay, but I sell high-end Nike and Under Armour stuff.
Oh, yeah, that stuff sells no matter what.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Paul says, hello, everyone. Where are you located?
We are near St. Louis in Illinois, so 30 minutes east of St. Louis.
Trenton, Illinois.
Yep.
The big city. All 2,700 of us.
2,700. Hey, it's bigger than the last town we lived in.
Yep, very big.
Yeah.
Michelle says it's optional, but I have a reseller certificate. Michelle says if you're going to sell anything you paid for, you need a seller certificate, EIN or tax ID. Yeah, we're not tax professionals. Check your tax professionals.
Yep.
Alan says no state taxes in Tennessee. Yeah, I know. There's certain states, man. It's fantastic. Illinois is not one of those.
They like to tax the snot out of their people.
Everything. If it moves, they tax it. Tammy says, when you first started out, did you wait until you resold your first box before buying another?
Well, the biggest thing when we first started out was you had to wait to sell items to have the funds to buy another. So that was the biggie with us. I know for probably the first few months, we didn't pay ourselves any extra money, and we didn't go out to eat with any extra money because we had to reinvest all of that. Because really the best deals were when we started to really buy larger lots.
Yeah.
So we would go to the thrift stores, buy 1, 2, 3 items, and we would make a profit. But really when we started to roll in the dough, so to speak, but make more money was when we were able to buy entire cases, entire pallets, because, you know, the larger lot that you buy, the lower the cost of each item. And so that's really when we started to kind of make a little bit more money. But yeah, so we had to wait to get the funds. And there were times that we couldn't buy funds or buy anything because we had to wait for sales. So then we had to really kind of price adjust a lot of our stuff to get stuff to sell so that we could buy more stuff. So always making sure you have money in what we call the picking fund.
Right. That kind of goes to Paul's question here. Do you pay yourself for time? We don't do an hourly rate. We do a percentage of the disbursements that come from the different platforms. So a fire sale will take 60% of what we made in the fire sale to go to salary. 40% goes back in the picking fund. I flip that for Amazon. We take 40% of what we sold on Amazon for a salary. 60% goes to the picking fund. I do that across the board on everything. And all those little percentages, they start adding up for a good chunk of change for salary.
And anytime we pay ourselves for salary or put money into our own bank account, we track all of that. And so at the end of the month, we can see we made X amount of dollars this month.
Right.
And on Poshmark, we made this much money. On Hooked on Pickin, we made this much money. On Amazon, we made this much money, which is really helpful from year to year to track your profits. We also make notes on each month if we make any kind of dramatic changes, like when we started doing the fire sales. We made a huge jump in profits on Hooked on Pickin just because everything's invoiced through that.
Right.
But we made a note, this is when we started fire sales, so that when we look back at it 3 years from now, we're like, why was it so dramatically different those months?
Right.
And so we try to track the trends. And that has helped us from going insane a few times, because there'll be times I'll look at my Amazon disbursement and go, why are we not selling anything? Why are we making no money? Well, partly it's because in the summer months, we just don't sell as much on Amazon, you know, and so we can watch those trends and go, okay, last year we barely sold anything during this month, you know, and so that will help you from going crazy, because if you did really good, like let's say in March, and then April rolls around and you're not doing as well, it's not that you're not putting in the effort, you know, It's sometimes because that's the way the market trends every year.
Paul, ours are, we use an irregular income sheet. If you're a Dave Ramsey fan, you know what that is. But you can Google it, irregular income sheet, and that will help you. A lot of salespeople use irregular income because they don't know if their paycheck's going to be 12 grand one month and 2 grand the next. So you have to think through that. Mm-hmm. And ours have been fairly consistent.
But we will have, like, we can have probably, you know,
they can definitely
swing.
It can definitely swing.
It can be like a $2,000 or $3,000 swing from one month to the next, depending on which month it is.
Sure. Here's a great question. Gina says, what's the difference between wholesale and liquidation?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I'd say the biggest difference there is wholesale are items brand new. Never
offered on any retail setting.
Right.
They're made direct from manufacturer usually. So
it's a company that is smaller than Walmart, of course, because most companies are smaller than Walmart, but they're buying wholesale from anyone making the product. So it comes in the packages. It comes
a lot of times in display boxes. So that you can stick it right on a impulse aisle. A lot of those things you see in Walmart on the impulse aisle, you know, like the little tiny candy toys or the lollipops or the little personal fans, those are all from wholesalers, okay? Liquidators are people that get returns, overstocks, shelf pulls. So they have been in a retail setting, whether it's the retail back room, that's shelf pulls, or that's new overstock, or it's brand new and never could sell on the shelf, which would be shelf pulls or returns. And so liquidators sell those things. They were in a retail setting, and then now they're being sold to us.
Right. So you can get a great deal with wholesalers, because if you hit on a certain item that people love to buy, well, if you're buying it from a liquidator, they don't always have it, of course, because it's whatever they have from Target, you know, clearance, you know. So ultimately what we would like to do is yes, we'll keep buying liquidation, but we'd like to move to wholesale because we know we can keep selling that product. And then ultimately, the big idea is to do private label where Heather has her own brand. And then if you can hit on products that would do that, there's the Shark Tank hope
but
at some point.
That's why, like when the farmer's toothpick knives were really popular, we bought from a wholesaler. We knew we could get them again.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. But in this particular case, it was.
Yep. Midwest Mama's Adventure says, when you pay quarterly taxes, how do you know how much to pay?
That's state specific, so you have to talk to them.
Yeah. So, and it is different for states.
Yeah.
Deborah says there is more, time is more important almost than the merch. Buying the merchandise is the easy part and the fun part. Listing sucks. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Deborah's 100% right. The easiest thing is to buy it. And then unboxing it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But then after that unboxing, you go, where do I put all this stuff? You have to have a plan. Don't buy unless you have an idea where you're going to sell it.
Otherwise, you end up with a death pile that starts taking over your house, and then you become a hoarder.
I actually, right now, we have 2 pallets full of stuff. Most of it's winter stuff that I'm just waiting a little bit longer.
I think we might just start listing it because I'm so
getting
tired
pretty
of
big.
it taking up the space, and I have
But we're
to walk
getting
around
close.
it.
Honestly, I walk into Walmart and I watch what they do. As soon as they start putting out
Winter stuff,
we start putting out winter
posting
stuff.
ours, yeah.
They've done the market research. They've spent the billions of dollars on that stuff.
Also, if you like this content, please feel free to give us a thumbs up. We are at 23 thumbs up right now.
23 thumbs
and
up.
if you would like to purchase a Coke or a coffee for me, you're welcome to donate on this thread just as a thank you.
Okay.
So,
Christina Edwards says, what website did you use to set up your website?
Shopify.
Yep. She says, I'm wanting to set up one, kind of do the same thing y'all do. Did you use like Shopify, Wix? Yeah, we use Shopify. Margaret Hall says, have y'all been able to contact the person for concealed bags yet? I am having a hard time with that individual getting a hold of them.
That was the frustrating thing about not being able to go to ASC Market Week. We knew what sold well before, and so we were looking forward to finding more contacts for various things that we know sell really well now that we have this space. Because when we went last time, we weren't in this space, and so we kind of shopped differently.
Yeah.
And it was our first time. We didn't really know what to expect, and so now that we know what to expect,
it's
we were
amazing.
really exciting.
Hopefully the COVID stuff will eventually die out at some point, and then when they open that convention again, you should go to it. You'll just be amazed at all the stuff.
Yep.
Inventors there, all kinds of companies, all kind of liquidators, all kind of wholesalers selling anything and everything you could think of.
Yep.
Okay. Fat Elvis Good says boom.
Boom.
Michelle says, what I did was go through the ASD Market website and look through the vendors, and since it was canceled / canceled rescheduled. Great idea.
Yep. We do the same thing.
Yeah. Cantorino says, roughly saying, how much do you make monthly in sales? I know our profit numbers. I don't know if I want to incredibly disclose that too much, but let's see. I'll say it this way. This year is our best year, and Heather will be close to making 6 figures this year, and that's take-home pay.
Yep.
So
that's net profit.
That would be fantastic if we can hit that. I think we might end up just under that, but that's across every platform and everything that we do. Let's see. Paul Schaefer says, thanks for answering. Katrina says, by the way, love you guys. You are so transparent. And Cole says, I've been reselling for 7 months, and this will be the first month I take a salary, always building inventory. Good job.
Yeah.
You did it the right way. It's exactly how we did it.
That's how we did it, too.
And since it's the way we did it, it's the right way. Fat Elvis Good says, paycheck? What is that? Laugh out loud. Jana Hook says, are there any U.S. wholesalers or mostly other countries? That is a very good question from my mom.
So we have bought for overseas. We've done the Alibaba thing, but we try to stick with U.S. wholesalers just simply because we get the product faster. It does cost more, though, sometimes.
Now, where are they getting their product?
They're getting it from overseas. But so we try to, right now, some of our favorite wholesalers are U.S. side, but they do get it. They get it first from other countries, then usually ship it to us.
New York and Minnesota. I don't know why Minnesota. but that's one of the
And
wholesalers
then one
I
of
buy
our
from
ones
quite a bit.
is near Chicago. I think we have one in Illinois or Wisconsin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Chicago, we have one. We don't
the
buy
concealed
all the
carry
time
lady
there.
was in Texas, I think.
That was Texas. I'm
So-
pretty sure that was a Chinese company that was based in China, but they had a sales lady there in Texas. But it was very difficult. English was not her first language, and that was very difficult just
to make a
to go
transaction.
through it. So, and the salesperson at the AST Market Week was different than who you're dealing with after that. So it was very, very difficult. So anyway, let's see. Gina says, so as a reseller, will I need a license to buy from a wholesaler? Most likely you will,
Yeah.
Gina. Most likely you will. Not hard to get. At least it wasn't in Illinois. Michelle, Gina, yes, because the wholesaler will not tax you. Correct. Rodeo Thrift says, I recently heard you can't use Amazon boxes to ship items sold on eBay or other platforms. Do you know if this is true? First time I've heard that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
First time I've heard that. Christina Edwards says, would you recommend Fiverr to get someone to set up a website? Because I have tried Shopify and
Fiverr is a company that will do all the work for you. It really depends on what your budget is on that. I've actually had Fiverr contact me about optimizing my website and all that stuff, but I kind of am a little bit finicky and I like to do everything myself.
And she's amazing.
I probably should have had someone help me do it simply because the time invested, because it took me about 2 days to set up my website the way I wanted it. And then I racked my brain about some other things on there. But the one thing that I did like about Shopify is they have a 24-hour chat person, and they are phenomenal. Like, they will walk you through to get it set up the way you want it to. So if you want to save time, then you might want to invest in paying someone to do it like that, but you just have to be very specific in what you want and what your goal is with your website. Is it going to be a blog? Is it going to be a reseller's platform like ours? What's it going to be? And make sure they set it up so that it's easily set up like that. But I've been contacted by Fiverr before, and I think they have great services. Yeah, it's in
don't
my emails.
even know.
Yep.
Let's see here. Alex says, awesome to see locals doing this stuff, and be featured on A&E is even more cool.
I know, we're like totally normal people on TV. And what you see on TV is exactly how we are
as normal as we get.
Yes.
Word Vendor 1 says, wow, how exciting for you. Great work. Great work. So some of the other things here for, is reselling a get-rich-quick scheme? No, it's not a scheme at all. It is a hard work business, if you will. You need to buy the product right so that you can sell it right. That's with almost anything and everything you do. Let's see, don't forget that you do have to invest money. You have to consider all the little things. So are you going to buy boxes? Are you going to buy tape? Don't forget about the ink or the labels. What do you have a computer? What about a smartphone? There's all sorts of other little added costs that you have to think about. And those can be very well averaged across the items that you purchase. What about poly bags? All these different things, they do cost money. Now, a lot of them aren't very expensive to buy, besides a computer, of course. But you do have to think through those. And when you don't think through them, that's when you start losing money. You can get real frustrated real quick. Let's see, we said
invest money, invest time. That's the biggest thing that probably is the most expensive for us, is the time. And so we will actually pay for other things so that we don't have to spend the time doing it. You have to invest the effort. A lot of people, I think, who initially start this are very surprised because they watch us 1 hour a day unbox something, and then the next hour they see us list it, and then they think they're done. You have to store it, you have to inventory it, you have to track it, you have to ship it, and all of that effort takes effort. You have to picture it, you have to list it, all of that stuff. And so we're going to actually walk through how long it takes us to do all of that stuff towards the end of this video. So stay tuned if you kind of want to get an idea on one pallet, how much time does it take us from beginning to end. So we will go over those numbers too. But the effort thing, I think people forget about.
Yeah.
I mean, we work very hard in this business.
I have overheard Heather's conversations multiple times, and we've talked after she's gotten off the phone with Consultation, where people got super excited. Maybe they watched our video or they watched somebody else on YouTube and they bought from that company and they opened it and they were excited to see what was in it. And then they're like, what do I do now? You know, there was no plan to sell it. And then when you start trying to walk them through, they go, wow, that's a lot of work. I'm like, well, yeah, it kind of is. You know, if you want to make more money on that, it's going to take some effort. Now, a lot of things have been streamlined, and Heather can help with that, but still, it's going to take effort.
Yep.
Let's see, before we get into more questions,
Take
other
risks.
things we said. Yeah, take risks is never a guarantee. I think that's a good thing. No matter what liquidator you've seen us unbox from, we've gotten a bad buy from them.
Yep. It's always a question mark.
Yeah.
And what used to sell really well, and we bought this box, now it's the market's dropped in it, and we can't sell those,
That
and
can
we're
happen.
stuck with them. And so, do we sit them on the shelf and let it take up space, which is also worth money to us, or do we just sell it for a loss and hopefully make money on all the other items in the box? So, it's never a guarantee. Anytime you see us unbox stuff, our reactions are exactly authentic. We're excited and we're disappointed at things that we see. You know, we get stuff. You've seen us open stuff that's broken. You've seen us make steps to try to fix something in order to make the sales. You know, and some of that we do off camera that you don't see. But we got to get creative sometimes when we're selling stuff.
Right. And, you know, you try to be as smart as you can. You look at the manifest. You build relationships with liquidators. You do all that you can to be able to mitigate that risk. But at the end of the day, anyone that's in business knows that there's risk. Even the farmer that puts the seed in the ground, he doesn't know, will the rains come, will the rains not come, you know? So everything has a level of risk. That's just a part of life. Now, we're not asking you to gamble on stuff. No. We don't want that.
I mean, our first point was buy smart.
Yeah, it is important. I stray away from companies that don't give me a manifest, where it's like, give us $400 and we'll send you stuff. No, I want more than just you willy-nilly throwing something in a box, you know.
We also do our research via other YouTubers that unbox from those companies. So if we want to buy from Quick Lots, we'll watch other people that buy from Quick Lots. If we want to buy now via trading, we actually know the process because we were in their warehouse. And so we probably would not be buying as much from via trading had we not been there and seen the actual process.
They have so much more than what's on their website. And when we learned that, we're like, this is fantastic. And only people know about it are the people that live right around via trading, you know.
So we do have a tour video where we actually toured their warehouse.
Absolutely.
So if you're curious what their warehouse looks like, check it out.
It's fantastic too.
Yeah.
Great system.
Yeah.
If you're interested about a liquidator and you want to send us our contact info, we will try to purchase from them and see how they are. I'm always looking for new stuff. But for you yourself, go in, just call them up and say, hey, can I get a tour? And most of the time they'll do it because they want to build that relationship because their business is to sell stuff.
Yep.
You know. Let's see. Take risks, never guarantee. If you don't work,
you don't earn. He's looking at a whiteboard I wrote on. If you don't work it, you don't earn any money.
Yeah.
So a lot of people start the reselling game, and just like he said, they buy the box and then they sit there and go, what to do next? Well, if it just sits in the box, you're never going to make any money. So you definitely, I have said this multiple times in our live streams, make yourself a list and make yourself stick to it. You have to actually work the job. I think the hardest part about being a reseller is that you do work for yourself and nobody is telling you what to do, which is awesome, but it's a catch-22. You have to make yourself do it. You have to self-motivate. And a lot of times I am not motivated, and Paul's like, "Come on, I'll help you." You know, so I think part of the reason why we do such a good job is because he definitely is my 100% encourager. But he used to, very in the beginning, have to, "Hey, come on, let's do it. Let's go." And okay, I will. You know, but now he basically has to yell at me to come home. Because I'm like, oh, I could just package one more thing. Oh, I could just list one more thing. And he's like, come home. You don't have to work that long.
Yeah. Heather's a social creature, too.
Yes.
So, I don't know, creature was the wrong word for it. But anyway,
I'm a
she likes social, and YouTube has really helped that. So,
yeah.
A lot of you out there have kept her encouraged. So, thanks.
Like Margaret Hall.
Yeah, like Margaret Hall. So how much time is invested? That gets all, people ask us that all the time.
We're going to specifically talk about our time, okay? It may be different for you, but we're specifically going to give numbers for us. Now, remember, he did say we have streamlined a lot of things. We have learned from our mistakes. We kind of have a process. I'm sure there are people that have a much better process than us. People have bigger situations, things like that. But we will give you the numbers for our time only. So, Paul, how long does it take us? Typically, we're going to talk about pallets to unbox an entire pallet.
Okay, so if you want to jot this down, the unboxing normally 1 hour. Now we film it, and then Heather will go ahead and process the filming of it, editing and whatnot, or
kind of just adding my tags and uploading and all that.
I would say that takes an extra hour. So if you're not filming it, unboxing the pallet, 1 hour. Listing that pallet varies, though. Putting those on various different sites. You can get a pallet with 28 items in it. Okay, not very hard to list 28 items. You can get a pallet with 6,000 items in it. A little bit, it's going to take you a lot longer, right? But on average, it takes us, what do we put down there? It takes us 4 to 8 hours. So it's a safe bet, 4 hours, you're going to do that. Even for the 28 items, you're going to say, okay, this is heavy, it's going to Facebook Marketplace. Well, that's going to take a little bit of time. You know it doesn't take a lot of time, but it takes a little bit of time. You start adding up all the little bits of time, 4 hours.
Well, and I think too, like it depends, like with bulk you have a manifest, and so sometimes you can find actual pictures based on the title they give you, and so that will cut down in your listing time because you can use a stock photo if the item is brand new. I usually like to use a stock photo, but then also include my own photos just so that they see this is the actual same condition. We have taken as long as 8 hours to process a pallet. Remember the candy pallets?
Yeah, candy
and the health
pallets
and beauty
are a
pallets?
lot of work. Health and beauty pallets, a lot of work. Because there's so many items and they're all different items. And if you have to peel the clearance tag off or all that other stuff, you know.
I would say if you bought a case, like if you're just doing a case, how long does it take to list a case?
A case can be, you basically cut it in half at that point.
Yeah.
You can say, I'm going to lock in at 2 hours. 2 hours, safe bet, you're going to be processing that pallet for 2 hours. And that's 2 hours your product is sitting on your shelf or is sent into Amazon for a case, sitting on the shelf or sent into Amazon. And in those 2 hours, you know, you're done. You could walk away from it. And there's always little wrinkles to that. And you will continue to tweak how you do it. You've seen us do that. We have a barcode scanner. Before we didn't. And that would take a lot of time. Typing in each number. Now we scan, you know. So you will start finding more and more little time savers. Don't get discouraged. I would say to start, probably buy a couple of cases of something.
Yeah, if you're a beginner, start with a case because you'll be less overwhelmed with that. And also the likelihood that you're going to be able to resell everything in the case is a lot higher just because it's all going to be shippable. Sometimes when you get the pallets, you end up with things like large pieces of luggage where you can't ship those items or it's going to have to go on Facebook Marketplace. Speaking of shipping, that's the last aspect. So we've talked about unboxing it. We've talked about our specifics and filming it, listing it, and now we're going to talk about shipping, which you guys very rarely see us do videos of. But shipping, how often do we do shipping?
Shipping is usually every other day, and it's 1 to 2 hours.
Every other day.
Every other day.
So, but that varies on Friday. Why does it vary on Friday?
Friday is fire sale day for us. You've seen the fire sale. If not, watch tomorrow at noon for a fire sale.
Noon Central Standard Time.
We'll sell anywhere from 70 to 150 items due to multiples. And because of that, we're shipping all of those out that we're invoicing Friday. Everyone that day. So we're looking at a 6-hour day.
So for shipping only.
For shipping only.
So usually Fridays end up being a 8 to 10 hour work day for us, but
They're
6 hours of it is usually packaging it. So when you buy from the fire sale, we actually box it up and weigh it. So when you purchase, it's already boxed, and that's why we're able to ship it that very next day on Saturday. So, so anytime there's a change to an order, it's frustrating because we've already got it boxed and ready to go. So fire sale, yes, 6 hours of shipping, and that's a lot of work, but we usually get all that done by 8 p.m. Most people are invoiced by 8 p.m., but that's a really, really fun thing to do. If you haven't if you don't want to buy on the fire sale, just come to watch tomorrow at noon. You'll enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Everybody seems to really appreciate it on this channel.
Exactly.
We're going to do some questions now that we kind of went over that.
Then we'll have to hop off here in a moment. So English says, does bulk deliver straight to your house or to any other place? They need a physical address, not a P.O. box. So, and then when they deliver, you have to be there.
Well, I mean, ours gets dropped off on our porch. So it depends on where you live, whether or not you want to be present for it.
Listen, you need to be there.
Yeah.
I know they say you don't have to be there. You need to be there. There are all kinds of funky things that can happen if you're not there.
Also, I have seen, there's a bulk Facebook page that I'm a part of, and I have seen, like this one lady got it and it had just downpoured. And she brought her bulk box in and it was just crumbling. So it's always good to be there when it arrives. And a lot of times I have got my bulk boxes, the cases, 2 different ways, FedEx or UPS, as the normal 2 ways that it gets delivered.
Right.
Very rarely does it ever get shipped post office.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
They need an actual physical. That's why you can't do PO boxes.
Right. Alex says, how are you driving traffic to your site? Organic or inorganic marketing firm helping? We don't have a marketing firm helping.
YouTube.
YouTube is really the driving force.
Facebook, I do have a Facebook page that helps drive some traffic there because it gives me analytics. There are some people that find us via Google, but I think partly because they already know Hooked on Pickin is the name. And
so our analytics right now say 100 to 120 people a day check out the site. So that
not a lot of traffic, but enough.
It's definitely not Amazon, but we consistently make sales on there, so that's been good. Let's see here. Randy says, how do you find U.S. wholesalers? You can Google, but Randy, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Even if they're saying they're a U.S. wholesaler, they're usually a company that is based in the U.S. that is buying product, most likely from China, India, Pakistan, various other nations.
Italy.
And
sometimes we get
sometimes
from
Italy. Sometimes Italy. But so they're buying that and then they're selling it to people in the U.S. So,
I would recommend going onto the ASD Market Week, which is a big convention in Las Vegas that they had to cancel this year. Go onto the ASD. It's A as in Apple, S as in Sam, D as in dog, Market Week, and you can probably find a list of their vendors.
Yep.
That would be my recommendation for you. They have thousands of vendors, and you can kind of filter what kind of vendor you're looking for. Clothing, weapons, things like that. So
Rodeo Thrift says, I work 40 hours a week and have 5 kids, 4 at home and 1 in the military, and resell only part-time for now. That they're right. It's a lot of work. It is. Word Vendor 1 says, what do you do with customers who want to haggle? Do you ever get in that predicament? How do you get around that? I've got a Mercari customer that is trying to waste my time.
Just stick firm. That's what I would say is I have no problem if they shoot me an offer. Let's say I've got something marked at 40, and you do this more than I do. So if it's marked at 40 and they shoot you an offer for 20, what would you do?
It depends on how long it's been sitting there, how badly I want to sell that thing. But usually if it's marked at 40, they send me 20, I'll say 30. And then that's probably my bottom line there. There's a little bit of haggling on Poshmark.
What if they go 22 when you send them 30? Do you just send them 30 again?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So in general,
you can only do it 3 times on Poshmark. So.
Yeah, and generally if you do that, they kind of get the point, and so they'll either choose not to buy or they'll just take your offer.
Yeah.
So so that's what I would suggest. Don't waste a lot of time with people like that, because everybody's looking for a good deal. I mean, you yourself do that when you go shopping.
Well, if it's been sitting there forever and you can't get anybody to buy it and somebody offers you $10 less, shoot, take it. Like, that thing's been there for 3 months, sell it,
But on the flip side, that also, you need to price it accordingly to make those deals. So don't put it at your bottom dollar, because then you have no room to wiggle and then you lose all your profits.
And if it is at your bottom dollar, don't haggle.
Yep.
Carl S. says, you allow your time to be wasted, know your bottom price, stick to it, then stop haggling. Yep.
Time is worth way more money in this business than you realize.
Okay, people are helping with that one. Dom G, it was nice of you to share your trip with YouTube, as many can't travel or maybe have never been there before. It's a great trip.
It was a great trip.
Good place.
I loved our cabin. It was so cute.
Yeah. Ashley says, what were your times on processing a case in a pallet where you first started?
So a case, we typically, okay, so unboxing the case, I'm just going to go for a case. Unboxing a case generally will take about 30 minutes. Listing the case takes around 2 hours based on the number of items in it. So that would be my numbers. And then you got to add probably 1 to 2 hours on shipping every item from that case. A pallet, just double all of that. So a pallet unboxing will be about an hour. Listing it's going to be anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, depending on the number of items in a pallet and how many different platforms you put everything on. We always try to prioritize our highest platform. So we sell a lot on Amazon. So we prioritize a lot of things that go there because it takes a week for those items to get to the warehouse because we sell FBA. So we usually try to ship those out, get them out of the way. That's the biggest thing about shipping, selling on Amazon FBA is you get it out of your house. And so you feel like you make a lot more progress. And then whatever your next platform is, if you sell the majority of the items on Poshmark, do that next. And then, just kind of work your way down. So that hopefully that's helpful. And then as far as the pallet shipping, that varies depending on the number of products. But, it takes 4 to 8 hours to list from a pallet. So I would say probably, like we said, every other day we ship. We spend time finding the item, boxing it, labeling it, setting up a pickup. 1 to 2 hours every 2 days. Yep. And then 6 hours on Friday.
Let's see. What were our times when we first started? Oh, goodness. We could
double those?
Maybe. And so we started, we weren't always filming, or YouTubing anything. Actually, YouTube has helped
sped up
us.
The process.
Gotta get that video out, So,
well, when we had 3 pallets of Triumph motorcycle parts that probably sat in our carport for probably a week.
Yeah.
So we probably took an entire week to list everything on eBay.
Honestly, I still have Triumph motorcycle parts up in a back shed in our property.
That we just haven't gotten out.
It's all the stuff that they just was hardly no market for it then.
Well,
maybe there's market for it now. It's
part of it too is
3 years later.
We let the listing expire. And so we'll have to create a listing for it. So that's kind of why we gave up.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get those eventually.
So, one day.
We have a dead pile in the back shed.
In the back shed. Back shed looks like an episode of Hoarders.
We've been watching that show, and Paul's like, every time I watch this,
I gotta clean that back shed.
I gotta clean the back shed.
Because if I die today, somebody's gonna go through my back shed and go, Pastor Paul was a hoarder. And they'd be right in the back shed. Everywhere else I'm fine, but
yep.
Okay, let's see. English says, I chatted to Bolt Company. They answered all my questions. Very good.
So hopefully with this video, you have realized that reselling is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a work hard, make money scheme, which is basically what I say all the time. Work hard, make money, but you do have to put the effort in. It is difficult. The nice thing, though, is reselling can kind of go at your own pace, but just recognize if you don't work it a lot, you're not going to make a lot of money. If you work it a ton, you're going to make money, but don't neglect the priorities in your life. So one thing Paul always says is don't work it so much that you neglect your family. But it is a good learning experience. Like, we have gotten our family involved now that they're older, involved in the reselling business, and they get paid for it, and they realize their time is worth money. And so that's a good thing to be teaching our age kids because they're older and they're learning to understand that. Don't forget, fire sale, noon tomorrow, Central Standard Time. We'll have lots of things available. For my patrons, that video will be before 10 p.m. tonight, so be on the lookout for that. Honcho Wholesale unboxing Saturday and Sunday, so you'll be able to check that out. And I've got 2 Honcho Wholesale boxes, so we'll probably do another one next week as well. I'm going to be looking into maybe ordering from 888 lots. So that's a new liquidator. I'm definitely
I don't think we've ever done 888 lots.
I don't think so. So I think that's a new one we're going to try to jump into, and so be looking for those. Thanks for all the feedback on our fun vacation video. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch it, go ahead and check that out. Give this video a thumbs up if you've not yet thumbs up the video. Do we have a few more questions, or are we good to go?
Just a suggestion of where to sell the motorcycle parts. Hey, if you could pray for me today. I'm visiting a lady that is probably getting close to passing away.
Her name is Helen.
Helen, sweet lady. cancer spread throughout her body, and she's now with hospice ministry. So just I know many of you out there are prayer warriors. You pray, and you know what cancer does to a family. So I was talking to the family this morning, so that's where I'm going right after this. So if you would pray for Helen. So good Christian lady, but hurting a lot right now. So there you go.
All right. So again, fire sale noon Central Standard Time, which is basically this time tomorrow. So it's 12:05 here. So this time tomorrow, be jumping on live 15 minutes before that. I will link the video to my Hooked on Pickin Facebook page and my Patreon page, so you can get on and be ready to go. If you've not bought from a fire sale, I give all the directions on that, and you'll be able to pay secure credit card checkout through my Shopify store or utilize PayPal. Most of the items get shipped out very next day, or if not Monday. So check that out. You'll enjoy it, and hopefully you learned that reselling is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it's a work hard, make money scheme. And remember, in the end, Jesus wins.